using your small things.
And they called it conspiracy. Now it's happening in your face. How you still asleep? Select few open their eyes. Now we really see respect due. If in these times you got inner peace, the minute hand standing over the 12, open the scrolls. What the prophets say. We believe it and we stand on it, unashamed of it. Regardless of how they feel, never change subject. Waiting patiently for the shepherd, he gon' gather us. Enemies surrounding us, Abba gon' lift the standard up. Yeah, we in the Bible again. Weeding the tares, the harvest, the time of the end. Let them grow together. We gon' see who really bear fruit. Find your wings while you not flying. What you scared to? Grace, even if you fall, he your parachute. The plans the enemy had for you fell through. I don't care what they tell you. His spirit is still available. On them ships we gon' sail through. Days of Noah, the flood subsided. It's a miracle. And you made it. You see the land. I don't think they understand. Our Savior left, but he gon' come again with his arms open, and we gon' run to him. Yeah. And we gon' run to him. Behold, look in the clouds, here he come again. How did I get here? All I got is this mustard seed and some hope. I can't fail, I must succeed. The world getting colder, is this just a dream? Thousands fleeing to the mountain trying to duck the siege. Looking out the window, you see tanks rolling, bombs dropping. Can't believe your eyes, it look fake, don't it? Ran your tab up, it's time to pay for it. See a ball of light, it disappeared in that same moment. Michael and the angel started standing up. Whole time thought we was alone, they was there with us. They don't want you free, they want you shackled with your hand in cuffs. Run you down till you out of stamina. Sirens, hopping fences. I'm pinned to the ground, how can I be optimistic? Nowhere to run, the Father gon' raise an army for it's said and done. Do our enemies know where we from? And the tribes we descended from, we the ones this knowledge was hidden from. If we realize we belong to the covenant, we'd all repent, and then the end would come, especially if we know the times. For years catered to our flesh, put our soul aside. It's more than obvious we chose a side. Alpha and Omega, he gon' finish what he started. Praise Abba, glory to the Father. The kingdom is the target, weeding the tares, the final harvest. He went away to prepare a place, he promised to put us in our land. It won't be long till it's accomplished. Many souls, Jew and Gentile, want to hear that pure gospel. Instead of more fans, I want to make more apostles, disciples. Do you believe that you could be healed? He was dead 3 days, now we standing right here. The same spirit that raised our Savior is inside us. That mustard seed is all that we needed. Now we fired up. I don't care what they tell you. His spirit is still available. On them ships we gon' sail through. Days of Noah, the flood subsided. It's a miracle. You made it. You see the land? I don't think they understand. Our Savior left, but he gon' come again with his arms open. We gon' run to him. It's getting cold. Praise God. Thank you, Father.
Hey, shalom, shalom, family. Shalom, shalom. Good evening, Erev Tov. Shalom Aleichem to the family. We're going to wait for just a few more people to come on as we give some updates what's going on with Akab Makut Ministries. Of course, make sure y'all click like and subscribe. Share with everybody so they know what's going on as we are about to dive in. It ain't gonna be no long thing. Just give y'all some updates on what's been going on and how we moving forward as we prepare our hearts, minds, and souls for the new year. So tap in. Let me know where y'all logging in from. Welcome, welcome, family. Y'all probably just about to actually text you. Welcome, you be on. Shalom, shalom. All right, we're gonna wait a couple more seconds and we're just gonna go ahead and get started because I know everybody probably getting prepared for work. Got the children yelling deem, so I don't want to keep y'all too long. All right, we can get started, y'all. So what's going on, family? It's your brother, Morey Mikael. On behalf of Akkad Malkuth Ministries, I would definitely want to welcome you all to the live feed. I know this is new for some of y'all. We usually don't do it through the week, but that's actually part of the updates. As we are progressing, moving forward, getting some more things in order and in line. And of course, with when you're giving more, it comes with much more responsibility. And, you know, we do have a duty first to our families and our tribe, and then as servants of the people, of Yah, really, to the people, you know, we have a duty to you all too. And we do know that's service to you all through his word, laboring in spirit and in truth. So with that being said, one of the first updates we want to talk about is this exactly what we got going on every Wednesday. I know we said this a couple weeks ago, but we never got started. So starting tonight, or really starting next Wednesday, but really starting tonight, we're going to be doing Zoom calls. It's not going to necessarily be lives for right now. If we pick up more of an audience, then we may just start doing more lives. But for right now, we're going to be doing live Bible studies on Zoom. Okay, this is actually where we'll become more intimate with you all. If you have any personal questions that sometimes we may not be able to get to on Shabbat due to us servicing you all and the families. And then obviously we teaching a lesson. So this Bible study on Wednesday will be more centered towards answering you all's questions that we may not got to during the live, along with just going over some scripture just to get y'all through the week. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we need that extra lift, and sometimes waiting to Shabbat may be too long. So we want to start servicing you all in that manner where we are going to do live Zooms on Wednesday. So with that being said, I need everybody to either screenshot or write down the email that's coming across the screen, because for us to do the Zoom call, we're going to need you all's, we're going to need you all's email. So make sure that you all email us your email and let us know. I want y'all to put in the email, Shalom, we are interested in the Wednesday night Bible studies. Email us at the email across the screen, Shalom, we are interested in your Wednesday night Bible classes. And just obviously leave your name and your email information so we can put y'all down in the email list. And what I'll do is I'll be sending the link at least 2 hours or an hour before the actual Bible study. So you all will have it. If y'all want to invite people, your family, your friends, y'all are more than welcome to invite them on. It'll be a light study session, so it won't be anything majorly too deep. I know sometimes the lessons, especially on Shabbat, can be very meaty to the minds of those who are just now still in the sincere milk, right? So we want to make sure that we have access to deal solely with the sincere milk on these Wednesdays. So this would be a thing if you want to share the link with any of your family or friends or your loved ones. This would be a perfect time to do so. So make sure y'all send the email at the email that's going across the screen at akkadmalkuthministry@gmail.com. akkadmalkuthministry@gmail.com. again, make sure y'all email us, okay? We've heard you all's request to want to do a little bit more, have a little bit more access to getting the information and the knowledge. So we want to open this up to you all. So depending on how much people we have, will depend how long we stay on Zoom. If we have a big amount of numbers, then we'll just move back to this and we'll do it more on a bigger forum. But for now, we're going to be doing the Zoom. So if y'all really are interested, I advise y'all to email me tonight. Email me tonight so I can put it in our system so that we can email you all by next week. And by the way, the calls will be at this time, 7 o'clock. So it'll be a 7 o'clock Wednesday night Bible study, a 7 o'clock Wednesday night Bible study. Okay. So again, any question that we may not be able to get to on Shabbat, or if you just got questions throughout the week, through your studies that you want answers to, that's going to be what Wednesday is for as well. It's not to say that we're going to be able to answer everything, right? But we're going to answer to the best of our abilities, and what we don't know, we just tell you we don't know. Okay. So email us at the email going across the screen. Next announcement. We are wrapping up the feast days, right? Shout out to our tribal member, Deacon Yaakov, House of Yaakov. May the Most High bless his house. He's doing a marvelous work with this calendar. I think he's going to be presenting something over the next, I'm going to say couple months. Once he gets some things in order, you just got to get some things in order. Once he get that in order, that he's going to be showing you all that I just truly believe is going to be mind blowing. I believe it's information that we have never really seen or been exposed to, and it's going to really show or shine a light on really how Yah measures time. Right? We know Yah lives outside of time, but how he measures man's time, I think is going to be super, super powerful. So we'll have the official, I'm going to give y'all this, we're going to have the official calendar release by Feast of Purim. And with that being said, let me let y'all know when those dates are. Let me let y'all know when those dates are, the Feast of Purim. So the Feast of Purim dates is February 17th and February 18th. It's a 2-day feast. It's in the 12th month, the 14th day of the lunar month, and the 15th day of the lunar month is the Feast of Purim, which is February 17th to February 18th. Okay, so by then, I will be posting, whether that be on our Instagram or whether that be on our YouTube, I will be posting an official biblical calendar for the up and coming new Hebraic year by Feast of Purim in the 12th month. So that give y'all enough time to prepare yourself. But what I did want to come on here for, because I know a lot of people, or a nice amount of people, should I say, have been reaching out to us to want to keep the feast, whether that they be to or fro, whether that be from a distance or whether that be in Georgia. So I at least want to give y'all this so y'all can prepare, because we are going to be preparing to get a place to hold everybody. So write this down. Write this down. Because there's two things out is very, very important. First thing is this: the Passover / Feast of Unleavened Bread does fall on April 23rd at even. April 23rd at even. That's a Tuesday. Now keep this in mind. Disclaimer: because we understand that the times is based upon the lunar months, it is subject to change based upon when the first light of the moon, the Yurak, the Rosh Kodesh, shows. So as of right now, it is estimated to be April 23rd at evening on a Tuesday. That is subject to change, but it's not going to be a major change. It's going to be either by a day, maybe two. But as for right now, it is April 23rd that we see is estimated to fall upon. To April, let me see, to that following Wednesday. Let me say that. So it's gonna be from that Tuesday to that following Wednesday. But the first day is April 23rd. With that being said, by March 23rd, we need those who are interested in joining to confirm via email. Or if you have my number, you can text me. I prefer everybody do via email so we can keep everything compartmentalized. Everybody needs to confirm by March 23rd. Everybody needs to confirm by March 23rd, okay? Passover is April 23rd, okay? Passover is April 23rd. Everybody needs to confirm by March 23rd. If y'all understand that, drop some ones. Drop some ones in the comments. Goodness gracious. Drop some ones in the comments, okay? If y'all understand, drop some ones in the comments, okay? All right, cool. March 23rd, confirmed. April 23rd is the actual Passover. So with that being said, we're going to open the floor. Oh, also with that being said too, with the spring coming up, I think it should be in Georgia warm by that time. So that whole week, if y'all, I mean, whoever stayed that long, up until I would, if you coming out of town, I would definitely suggest staying at least to that Shabbat. But with that being said, anybody interested in immersions or modernly known as baptisms, we will be doing baptisms that week. So if you're interested during that time, you're down, or if you want to get baptized, during that week, you may not necessarily keep the feast, but if you want to come down during that week to get baptized, you most definitely can come down. We'll be doing baptisms. So if you're interested, also make sure y'all put that in the email too. If you're coming down for the feast and or you want to get baptized during that time, please confirm in the email. Please confirm in the email. Okay. Let me think. Is there anything else? Tamaria, is there anything I'm missing? I think that's all for right now. But again, we will have the official calendar released by the 12th month on the 14th and 15th day, so you all can prepare. Also, you know, I know Israel got a problem preparing way before the time. So with that being said, tabernacles, y'all get the dates, but already start preparing yourself for tabernacles. We definitely would like to have a nice amount of space to host other people. So that's going to be a different day confirmed, because that's one of those things we most definitely have to prepare for months in advance. Considering, you know, we do tabernacle outside. For those who are interested in camping, we do tabernacle outside, right? We do, like I said, we do the whole shebang to the best of our abilities. Also, with the feast, thank you, Tamaria. With the feast, if you plan on attending, please let us know in the email too your family size. That does matter. So let us know you're coming and let us know how many people you're coming with. Okay, and do it by, you know, section it by how many adults and how many children. All right. Let us know how many people coming. Again, for tabernacles, by Passover, we'll have all that confirmed. But I'm gonna say I'm thinking about mid summer. Y'all need to confirm if y'all coming, because that would determine the location, and that'd be the biggest thing, is determine the location based upon the people. We do tabernacle the whole time outside. I'll say it again. We do tabernacle outside the whole time to the best of our abilities. Let me say that. To the best of our abilities. Right? We got children, so we got to consider that too. But if we have a nice amount of people, then we'll get a place, because obviously we'll be doing activities and things of that nature. So we just practicing the righteous acts, y'all. We preparing for the King, we preparing for the Master, and we're showing him that what we can do, we will do to the best of our abilities, with 110% giving him our first fruits. So with that being said, hold on real quick, y'all. My bad, y'all had to clear something up real quick. But if y'all got any questions, like I said, I wasn't gonna keep y'all long. So if y'all got any questions, whether that be dealing with the Bible, whether that be you want to know a little bit more about our ministry, whether that be you want to know services we offer, because we do offer baptisms, we offer for those who are interested in wedding ceremonies, ministering in that way. We have in the past did a lot of charity work as far as feeding the homeless and giving clothes away. So if there's anything y'all would like to know, drop your questions. No matter what it is, biblical, anything of that nature, drop the questions. Again, shalom to your sister Yapa, shalom to sister Awarion, shalom to my brother and sister Travis and Mariah, shalom to my sister, my beloved sister Tamarion. Who else on the live? Who else on the live? I don't know what just happened there for you. All right. Where do you celebrate Feast of Tabernacle? Does it take place in the park? We plan to attend all feast days. I will email you. So in the past, we have kept tabernacles, from my experience, we've kept tabernacles in cabins. We have kept tabernacles on developed land, farmlands. We have even kept tabernacles in our backyards. So this year we would like to keep tabernacles on land again, but obviously developed land where we have access to restrooms and things of that nature. Just, we all still learning and developing in certain areas. We would love to get to the point where, everything we need is in nature, but we all working towards something, right? So with that being said, so this year we're going to probably try to rent out some land, or even possibly rent out some cabins, but for sure we're going to be outside. Sister Zakai, shalom, shalom from South Florida. What's going on? We got any other questions? Any other questions? You can ask anything. You can ask anything. You got any other questions? Also for sisters, we're looking for sisterhood. We got the sisters on deck. So if y'all looking for sisterhood, we got sisters in our tribe. From my Isha to the Das Isha, to our sister Tamaria, to Deacon Yaakob's Isha, Kenya. So we definitely got sisterhood for anybody interested in that, and any brothers looking for brotherhood. We definitely got y'all. Hey, it's all good. You came in late. Hey, late is better than never, right? Any other questions, comments? How y'all been liking the lesson? For those who kind of new, how y'all been liking the lessons? How y'all been liking the lessons so far? I know some of y'all been with us for a little minute, and we've been kind of picking up in a different dynamic of it. But how have y'all been enjoying the lessons? The dates for Tabernacles, I didn't give the dates for Tabernacles yet, but I did give the dates for Passover. We're gonna release all the dates. We're gonna release all the dates by the 12th month. We're gonna release all of the dates by the 12th month, close to Chag Purim, Feast of Purim, the appointed Purim. So that's when we will release all the dates. But I'll say, just start preparing. I'll say that. Appreciate y'all comments. All praise to the Most High. Where are we doing Passover? We'll be doing Passover in Georgia, specifically Atlanta. So if you're interested, sis, just email. Well, you got my number, so just text me. Email me. Let me know, how many people you coming with. If you are interested in coming, if it's just you, that's cool. But we'll make space for you. So the Passover date right now, estimated. Remember, it's subject to change, possibly. Passover dates is April 23rd. Passover dates is April 23rd. That's the first day. Possibly, what we estimated. Ak Kefa. Shalom, shalom, Mak. Shalom, shalom, Maki. We got any other questions about the lessons? We got any questions about the scriptures? We got any questions about marriage? Do we got any of those type of questions? Again, this is kind of how the live is going to be. The Zoom calls is going to be. Sometimes it's going to be geared towards the actual lesson. Sometimes it's going to be a platform to ask your questions. Sometimes it's going to be a platform, just to see how we can build together, right? Because one thing we never want to do is waste time and space. Time is valuable. That's something you can't never get back. So we want to always be intentional in everything we do. Kefa, man, we're going to see you for Pesach. We're going to see you for Pesach, Aki. Is that something we can get done? It's April 23rd, so you got much time to prepare. You got much time. We're going to see you for Pesach, Aki. All right, y'all. Y'all got 2 minutes. Y'all got 2 minutes. Y'all got any questions y'all might want to ask me? Make sure if you haven't already, make sure you click like and subscribe to the channel. I'm still confused on what are the grounds for divorce for women. Good question. Good question. Let's see what the grounds is. Well, let's start with divorce, period. All right, because I understand that question, because brothers be having sisters bound for all the wrong reasons and think that you just stuck forever. It is ground rules to it. So what are the grounds for divorce women? So let me make sure you Ask it in a more detail. So what do you mean? What's the reasons that you should have within the scripture to divorce a woman? Or what can a woman do after she is divorced? Be a little bit more specific for me so I know exactly how to answer that. Right? Be a little bit more specific. So while you rewording that question, let me get this though, at least. Dealing with the law of divorce. If y'all see the screen, y'all see the scriptures, drop some sevens in the chat. If y'all see the scripture, drop some seven in the chat. The question is, I'm still confused on what are the grounds for divorce for women. I would just want to make sure that you're asking this in a way I understand. Are you asking me what is acceptable for a woman to remarry? Good. Well, let's first get, matter of fact, let's do this. Great question. Let's first see, is marriage not marriage, is divorce a thing? Like, is that a thing that y'all sees fit, right? Let me see. Let's go to Matthew 5. Let's see what the master says. Great question. Let's see what the master said. So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 31. It had been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorce. So that's the first decree we must understand. Is that any time a man is divorcing a woman, because I've seen this too. I've seen brothers who put away a woman but would not give her a bill of divorce. Technically, according to Torah, it's not officially a divorce until you give her that bill of divorce. And on top of that, you must have witnesses. If you actually look in Torah, it says what? 2 or 3 witnesses shall establish a matter. When you look at the wisdom in Ecclesiasticus and Sirach, it said, do all things in writing. Why? Because the reality is we living in a time where men nor women keep their word. So word is no longer bond like it used to be, right? But even in the case of not having writings, when we go back to the ancient text and we go back to culture, there always was a witness to testify of the marriage and to testify of the divorce. So let's get that first clear. He must give a bill of divorcement. That's first. If y'all understand that, drop a cane or a con. He must give a bill of divorcement. That's the first thing. Make sure I go slow on this thing. We literally have brothers holding sisters hostages for all the wrong reasons, thinking they can't be married. And they're not teaching it correctly. So that's the first thing. He must give her a bill of divorcement. So let's keep going. Verse 32. But I say unto you, now watch this, that whatsoever or whosoever shall put away his wife. Now, when it says saving, it means accept. But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, except for the cause of what? Fornication. Fornication. Now, interestingly enough, I'm not going to get deep in that, but I want to show y'all something real quick. Because fornication can be defined in different ways. But I want to show y'all the Greek word for it. Y'all see that? What does that word say? The word for fornication is porneia. Porn. Porn is part of fornication. Let's see what it says. Fornication could be illicit sexual intercourse. It could be for adultery, homosexuality, lesbianism, intercourse with animals, sex with close relatives, sexual intercourse with a divorced man or woman, which we know in the Torah it means any man that pretty much is not any man or woman that's not married. It can also be a form of worship of idols, defilement of idolatry, right? So this is what fits the bill of what fornication is. So part of fornication separate be for anything sexual outside of your actual covenanted partner is committed fornication. Also causes her to commit adultery. Okay? So it said, but I say unto you that whatsoever shall put away his wife, except let it be for fornication, causing her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her that is divorced, committed adultery. Now watch this. Why? Because in the law, let's go back to it. In the law, the only reason for divorcement was because of fornication and adultery. I'm going to ask you a question. The only true reason for divorcement was because of fornication and adultery. Now, obviously that's the literal statement, but let's not get so cringed up that we're not thinking as well. Should a woman stay if she's getting beaten? I speak as a man, and I say no. And I only say I speak as a man because have I seen anything? You know, I speak as a man and say I don't think any woman should take any type of physical abuse. But at the same time, the scriptures say what? If you hated her, you hated yourself because she's a part of you. And y'all don't deal in the spirit of hate, right? So in the case of answering your question, if it's not fornication, now keep in mind, that's not just natural. It could be spiritual fornication or spiritual adultery. I'll give you an example. If you have a woman or a man who y'all both was in agreement about this walk, and then all of a sudden they get into witchcraft. They start serving idols. They start getting into idolatry. That is also a form of fornication and adultery. And how can two walk together lest they be agreed? If y'all understand that, let me know. Drop some sevens if y'all understand that. So, Sister Aurora, did that answer your question? Then your next question was this. Oh, let me finish this. I don't want to just stop in the middle. Let me finish it. So it says, but I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife except for the cause of fornication, causes her to commit adultery. And whosoever shall marry her, that is divorce, committeth adultery. Again, ye have heard that it had been said by them of old time, thou shalt not forswear thyself, but shalt perform unto the Lord thy oaths, right? Because you got to fulfill your oath. Now let's go back to Deuteronomy. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verse 1. When a man have taken a wife and marry her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because the reality is, and there's another scripture that goes in how a man just try to find any type of issue with her that he puts her away for no cause. I'll see if we can get there. I want to make sure I answer every question. But it says she finds no favor in his eye. I mean, he has some type of hate towards her because he had found some uncleanness in her. Then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. Now keep in mind, I want y'all to read this slow. He had found an issue with her and he had found some uncleanness in her. I want y'all to keep this in mind because the master told us what's the bounds for divorce, right? Now, let's keep going. It said, and when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. Ooh-wee. So yes, a woman, so long as it's not in the bounds of adultery and fornication, and I believe that's in 1 Corinthians 7, and I'll pull that up too. Because when she did that, It was supposed to be known that she was doing that because in that eye she was considered very unclean into the eyes of the nation, and no other man would defile himself with her because the reality is she made her husband unclean through her adultery. So in the case that is not fornication or adultery, but he just made she had found no favor in his eyes, she by all means has the right to get married again. It said, and when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. And if the latter husband or later husband hate her and write her a bill of divorce and give it in her hand and send her out of his house, or if the latter husband die, which took her to be his wife, her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife. After that, she is defiled. For that is an abomination before the Most High, and thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. You see that? Does that make sense? So, in essence, yes, she can go back to marry, but technically she cannot go back to that same man once he has sealed the deal of divorce. Now, the other one was, I think, 1 Corinthians 7. Let me make sure real quick. Let me see. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 7. So this is another one in between, like somebody taking a break, right? Because the reality is you're not technically released until that bill of divorcement is given. So it says this. This is Paul speaking. I'm gonna start at verse 9. It says, but if they cannot contain, let them marry. It is better to be married than to burn. He's talking about the person who has a strong desire to be with a companion. And unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Most High. So now he's speaking for the Most High. Let not the wife depart from her husband. And if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband. And let not the husband put away his wife. Okay? So in that case where they're having an issue and she wants to separate for a time, she cannot go remarry. Technically, she has to reconcile that situation with her husband. Or in other cases, again, he has to give her a bill of divorce. Because the reality is this, Yah never wanted divorce in the picture for his people. We see this in Genesis, right? We become one flesh. Even Messiah said it, but it was not so in the beginning. He said, but it was not so in the beginning. Y'all get that? So, I hope that answered your question, Sister Warrior. Let's see. Another question on marriage. Question on marriage. Was the ceremony or celebration the declaration of marriage, or was it when they became one? Been discussing this with my young lady. So it is the consummation of the marriage. Let me get that scripture too. Get that for you out. So let me get let me see. So we're gonna give some examples like Rebecca. Hold on. Let me see. Let me get that real quick. Let me see. Genesis 24. So this is an example, right? And I'm only bringing this up because there is steps to it. Don't get me wrong. There is steps to it. But I'm answering the question as you have written it. So the steps is she does, and we already went over this, so I'm not going to go into too much depth on it because we got plenty of lessons that go over this. But just for a quick 1-2, the man must go ask her father for her hand in marriage. We see this when Abraham's servant is sent to go find a wife for Isaac, Yitzchak. We also see this when Jacob saw Rachel, and he had to go, and he ended up talking to her father for her hand in marriage. We also see that Judah, was supposed to perform the same duty for his children, but he did not, or he didn't keep his word. Let me say that. We even see that Abraham made a decree on who his children can and cannot marry. Y'all see that? So we see the parents are very involved when it comes to marrying off your child. That's first and foremost. The next step was paying a dowry. He had to pay a dowry if she was a virgin, right? If she was a virgin. Now it's according to whatever the father had proclaimed. Or in certain cases like Yaakov, who had no money, he had to put in 7 years of service and labor, which still equated to dowry money really. So now to the question you asked, to the question that you actually asked, what consummates the marriage? I'll give you an example. So you see the title in this section, Isaac marries Rivka. Genesis chapter 24, verse 62. And Isaac came from the way of the well in Lahore, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the evening time. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. Remember, Abraham's servant went to go get him a wife. And at that moment, he had he had brung a lot of these little trinkets and golds and animals and cattle to give to her family. So the dowry, keep in mind, they asked the father, they not only adorned her with jewelry, but gave the family something, and then he took her. And not only that, the parents asked Rebecca, did she want to go with that man? And then he took her. So now we get to this point. It said, and Rebecca lifted up her eyes. And when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel, for she had said unto the servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, it is my master. Therefore she took a veil, and that's a whole other thing, if you actually understand what the veil represents, and covered herself, because she realized she's about to go into the bride's chamber, or the bridegroom's chamber. And the servant told Isaac all these things that he had done. And Isaac brought her into his mother's Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became, now I said, and he took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. So I brought that up because a ceremony is not necessarily needed. It is a custom, though. It is something you want to obviously, represent, and it's really believe it or not, it will really be a sign of witnesses. It's really for the witnesses to celebrate and feast on the marriage. We see a 7-day feast with Yaakov. So you don't necessarily need the ceremony. It's good to have. It's cool to have. It is our culture to have a ceremony, but technically it is actually the consummation that seals the deal for marriage. But that don't mean you skip steps, because we do have brothers out here, and we are willing to go to bat with whoever. who out here saying that sex alone is marriage. And it's not. If that's the case, Judah is married to his so-called daughter-in-law. If that's the case, Simeon, Jacob's son, is married to one of his wives. If that's the case, the man who took Dinah, Jacob's daughter, would have already been married. He wouldn't have had to come ask Jacob for his hand in marriage. You see, when we put this in real proper cultural perspective, everything must be done in decency and order. And technically, if you're sitting here taking a man's daughter and not asking him first, that's damn near coveting. That's coveting. So it's a thin line for brothers who out here teaching that doctrine, man. So let's see. How do you discern dreams? I know not to regard every dream, but also there are some that have come to pass. I'm not sure. Do I just wait to see if it eventually happens? Let me see. I'm going to use in the context of, first of all, I always would tell you to pray. Pray on it and discern it. Scripture say watch and pray. You got to watch it and be observant of it as well. I believe, and this is just my opinion as a man, I believe that through the Ruach and discernment, you will know if it's of Yah or not, and especially confirm when it comes to pass. But you never want to be hasty. So there is a scripture in Sirach that talks about dreams, right? Because dreams can be deceiving. Dreams can cause a man to lean on his own understanding, right? So you most definitely, let me see if I can pull that up, actually. Let me see if I can pull that up in Sirach. Let me see, King James. Let me see. Stop sharing that. All right. So this is Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 34, verse 1. It says, the hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false, and dreams lift up fools. Whoso regardeth dreams is like him that catcheth at a shadow and followeth after the wind. The vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to a face. Of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed? And from that which is false, what truth can come? Divinations and soothsayings and dreams are vain, and the heart fancieth as a woman's heart is travaileth. If they be not sent from the Most High in thy visitation, set not thy heart upon them. For dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them. The law shall be found perfect without lies, and wisdom is in perfection to a faithful mouth. You see that? That makes sense. So the reality is this: don't put no hope in dream. But if you put your hope in the Most High, I believe you can discern if it's a visitation from the Most High, because one thing he does let you know, even if he may not show you the fullness of the dream or the completion of whatever he's trying to show you, he will let you know it's him. And through much experience, fasting, praying, reading, seeking his face, You should be able to start to discern the dreams from Yah and the dreams from your own consciousness. I speak as a man from experience on that area. So you just got to be able to be still enough and listen or hearken enough to know the difference between a dream that's just manifested through your own consciousness and a visitation from Yah. As two different things, because it's a presence that is very, very noticeable and recognizable. You get what I mean? That makes some sense. Let me know. So let's see. I'll answer that question. I love this one. Can you talk about head covering for women? I want to know if I need to cover my head during service. We come from a congregation where no one covered their heads. I'm looking for direction. So let me give y'all my background. My background is I started my walk in the camp through just fasting, praying, through my experience with Yah, through where he was trying to lead me and direct me. He took me out of that space. And I, all praise to the Most High. It was good. It was a decent foundation to start upon, because it did teach me how to be bold in this walk and stand up for righteousness and truth without any compromise or timidness, right? But oftentimes when we start to graduate and we start to really learn, and Yah's spirit starts to really deal with us, he starts to unveil some things to us, right? And so with that being said, that was one of the things that Yah revealed to me. Now, is a head wrap a cultural practice and a custom of ours? Absolutely, it is. And there's nothing wrong with it, even if you want to wear it every service. I believe it is modest. I believe that see, and that's one thing. If y'all know me, I'm very big on culture. We have to start. Yes, we have to clean the inside of the glass first, but then once we clean the inside, the outer expression should reflect. It should actually reflect what we've been working on. And I believe wearing that head wrap is really a sign of your covering, right? It's not a covering itself, but it is a sign of your covering. It's a sign that you're covered spiritually. It's a sign of your modesty and adornment. So with that being said, do women have to wear head wraps during services? Well, let's go to the scripture that most people like to use. And when I started to understand this, when I started to understand this, I'm like, oh man, because the reality is, man, we can get extremely religious and not realize it. It's very easy to fall into religion. Even in this walk, you could easily fall into religion. So let's get to it. Most, if not all, Israelites who teach, because you can't really go nowhere else. All Israelites who teach that a woman must wear a head wrap, especially in services. Now, prime example, we did see Rebecca. As soon as she saw Isaac, she put on a veil. Was that a custom? Or was that a law that she had to do? Or was that a custom? No. That was not a law. That was a custom. It's really a sign of respect, to be honest with you. It was a sign of modesty and respect. And overall, women did wear veils during ceremonies. So anytime she was wearing a veil, it was in reference of him being able to she showing respect and glory over herself. So in that aspect, customarily, yeah, we wore head wraps, but by law that a woman has to, that's when we start diving into religion. I'm gonna show y'all this. I guarantee nobody can go anywhere else outside of 1 Corinthians 11 when it talks about head wrap. So it says this, 1 Corinthians 11. First of all, let me make sure everybody see my screen. Y'all see my screen? Drop some ones if you see my screen. Drop some ones if you see my screen.
Attention, your battery is fully charged. Please unplug the power adapter.
Y'all got that? Y'all can see the screen? All right. So let's get to it. 1 Corinthians 11, chapter 1. It says, be ye followers of me, even as I am also of Mashiach. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I deliver them to you. Now you got to understand the placement of what Paul is talking about. What is he saying? Is he talking about the natural? Is he talking about the spiritual? What is he talking about? We can get caught up on the word and keep the ordinances, which I deliver them to you, right? That'd be the key thing. So watch this. It says, but I will have you know. Now keep this in mind. It says that the head of every man is Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Mashiach is Elohim. That is the premise of this chapter. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Mashiach is Elohim. This is the context. You got to read everything in context. So watch this. Every man praying and prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. What is this talking about, y'all? Before we move on, what is the premise of this chapter? What is the premise of this chapter? What is the premise? When you read verse 3, and then he goes into verse 4, when he talks about the head, is he talking about a literal head, or he's talking about a spiritual head? What is being discussed in the chapter? Come on, y'all. What is being discussed? How is he opening up the chapter? Oh, we ain't done. I'm gonna show you something. We ain't done just yet. I want to make sure that you got this full understanding. Spiritual, right? So watch this. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head, or let's say having Mashiach covered, dishonor Mashiach. Because anytime you had your head covered, meaning it was a shame. You were ashamed when you had something covered, just like we put on that sackcloth covering. It was a sign of shame. So when we shame our head, anytime we're praying and prophesying, not putting our head first, we dishonor our head. Verse 5. But every woman that prayeth or prophesies, now I want y'all to pay attention. It's in this form for a reason. Every woman that prayeth or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one, as if she were what? Shaven. Now I want to know anybody who read the scriptures. It compared this woman, right, not being covered as one who is shorn or shaven. If you read the scriptures, what does that mean? Anytime a woman shaved her head, what did that represent? What did that represent? If you read the Torah, anytime a woman had to go through a mourning situation or shorn or shaving her head, what did that mean? Anybody who reads Torah, what did that mean? Okay. I'm going to give y'all a better example. Watch this. Watch this. See, Torah don't lie. Men lie though, but Torah don't lie. Watch this. This is Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 10. When thou goest forth to war against thy enemies, and the Lord thy God hath delivered them into thy hands, and thou hast taken them captive. Watch this. And seeth among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to wife. So this is what you call a war wife, or you call spoils of war. It said, then thou shalt bring her home into thy house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and she shall remain in thy house, and bewail her father and her mother for a full month. And after that, she shall go in. Now, then you shall go in unto her and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. And it shall be, oh, that's another part. The point is, I'm saying this. Anytime it was represented of a woman losing her covering, which her first covering is her father, it was as if she was mourning or dishonored or had no cover, or she was shamefaced. This is what this is talking about. It's not talking about that she literally ain't got no hair wrap on, so she out here like she shaving. Come on, man. The Most High ain't that cruel. The Most High ain't that cruel. The Most High is not that cruel. If you can't walk around with your head uncovered, there's like you shamed. Now again, wearing a head covering is honorable. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It's very beautiful on one, right? And it shows modesty. But to make it a law like some people are doing, you can't find that in Torah. You can't. You cannot. You can't use anything that may be possibly close to saying that's law outside of 1 Corinthians 11 to say that is law. Now, with that being said, watch this. You always got to go to the definition. Her head. What does that say, y'all? What does that say? Of persons, her master, her Adon, of a husband in relation to his wife, of Christ, the Lord of the husband and of the church. We, the head. So where are we getting at this talking about cloth on top of a woman's head? That she got to do it in the service. Again, I humbly say that because I used to think that too. I was taught that. But through relearning or unlearning and relearning, truly asking for discernment and understanding, God showed me that that was a tradition of men. Again, there's nothing wrong with tradition. The problem comes in when your tradition supersedes the law of the Most High. That's where the problem comes in. That is where the problem comes in. So verse 6, it says, for if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. If it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head. For as much as he is the what? Image and glory of the Most High. But the woman is the what? Glory of the man. So case closed on that. Case closed on that. So did you get some understanding on that, Brother Travis and Sister Mariah? You said, okay, it sounds like a woman should cover her head. But I am unsure of what it means when a woman shaves her head. No. What I was trying to show you when I show you the definition, this is talking about a woman having a husband. Her covering is her husband. Her not to have a husband is like she is shaving. She doing these spiritual things without a husband or a covering, because a covering Again, it not necessarily have to be a husband. It could be a father. It could be an uncle. It can be a big brother. But her to be out here doing the Most High's work without any covering at all, that's what it's comparing itself to. But no, you do not have to wear a head wrap in the service. It's not law. You can if you want to, but it's not law. Brother Kafa, that's what I was trying to explain to her. But the wedding is for witnesses to take place. Yeah, I mean, that's an easy chop down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's cool to have a ceremony. I think it's marvelous. And the reality is, we don't always get to see true Hebraic weddings happen. You know what I'm saying? Just to see what it looked like. I would say, it could be a witness for children, right? Because a lot of us got children out here, and we're trying to teach them this way of life, and they want to see what's the glory in it, what's the beauty in it. And to see a Hebraic wedding in our natural form as who we are, that's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing. So I don't see nothing wrong with having no ceremony. I mean, it ain't law. You ain't gotta have one. You definitely you should have witnesses, but you most definitely don't have. But keep in mind, you are a witness too. She is a witness, and the Most High is a witness too. So just keep that in mind too. You don't necessarily, because my question is, where was Isaac? Where was Isaac's ceremony? Where was Abraham's ceremony? You get what I mean? Y'all think Solomon had a ceremony for the thousands of wives he had? I wouldn't think so. Let me see. Did I miss any questions? I got that part. All right. We got any other questions? We got any other questions? Matter of fact, I'll answer one more question. I gotta go. I got one more question. I gotta go. We got any other questions? Shout out to everybody who logged in with us today too. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We have any other questions? Sister Mariah, I definitely get it. Trust me. I wish that there was somebody who just specifically taught Hebrew marriage. I really wish that there was somebody who just specifically had an office in teaching Hebrew marriage, because a lot of us need to get re-educated. A lot of us need to get healed from our ideas and perspective of marriage. A lot of us, let's be honest, a lot of us carry a Western and Eurocentric concept when it comes to marriage. We all into romance. When romance, if you want to be honest, you go to origins of romance, it was dealing with two men, right? So even that perspective of wanting romance comes from an abominable act. So we need to talk about bromance. We need to talk about some brew love. And what did that look like? That's a sacrificial, selfless life that was for the dedication of expanding and building the kingdom. And that comes in many different shapes, forms, and sizes. You know what I'm saying? So we got to understand, we got to just relearn. We got to unlearn and relearn, because we've been taught a lie. And a lot of us hold on to that tradition. And the reality, it really hurts us in the long run. A lot of us don't realize the thing that we scared the most, or the thing that we fear the most when it comes to marriage, is actually the thing that delivers us from the very thing that we've been tormented by for years, or however long you've been going through. Seed of Yah music, all praise to the Most High. Glad you learned something new. Welcome, brother. I don't know if you've been on the channel or not. It's your first time, but if it is, welcome. If it's not your first time, welcome back. All right, family, with that being said, Love y'all, spirit and the truth, man. Again, make sure y'all email us if you come into Passover. If you want to get baptized, it is going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. Let us know how many people coming with you as well, okay? With that being said, shalom, shalom, edif tov, laila tov, shalom aleichem.